Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you all to the redevelopment meeting. If you can turn your cell phones to vibrate or silent. I'd like to call this Hammond Redevelopment meeting to order. This April 21st, 2015, Tuesday at 4:30. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence after.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, roll call on the commissioners, please.
Here.
Esperky.
Here.
Rejas.
Here.
Myrick. Hopper.
Here, 4 present, 1 absent. Number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, number 4, communications.
None were received.
All right, number 5, minutes.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes for the Hammond Redevelopment Commission for March 3rd, 2015. I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the March 3rd, 2015 minutes. Any corrections or additions or any discussion on those minutes? Roll call on the minutes, please.
Solo Presley.
Yes.
Esperky.
Yes.
Rejas.
Yes.
Myrick. Hopper.
Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, we're going to skip a few items here. We'll return to them. We're going to move to number 9, approval of development agreement for Thrupport Intermodal LLC.
Commissioners, a while back, the Thrupport Intermodal team came to the Redevelopment Commission and talked about a project that we have been working on for quite a while now, an exciting project. It's in the Hessville part of the city on the east side of Kennedy Avenue. We now have the development agreement here that formalizes this project, and we're excited to bring this to you today for approval. The gentlemen from Thrupport are here, so I'll let them go ahead and speak.
Thank you, Phil. Mr. Chairman and members of the Redevelopment Commission, I'm Jim Weiser, an attorney from Schererville. I've been the attorney on the project for quite a period of time, probably a little longer than we thought, but we're really happy to be here today. And I have with me Justin Murphy, who is also an attorney, but is the CEO of Thrupport. And I also have several of the members of the investment group, Russ Milbrandt and Bob Parks, that are seated right here. I just, maybe a couple of highlights. Phil and Dave and Justin and I have probably seen more iterations of this redevelopment agreement than we ever care to comment on. But I can say that from our perspective, we believe this agreement to be an excellent agreement. We're incredibly pleased to have been able to sign it and look forward to the city approving it as well. Maybe just a couple of highlights. When we were here last time, you may recall, the entire acreage is about 155 acres, and we had control of some of that acreage, but not all of it. And I am pleased to report to you that we now have control and ownership of the entire acreage. Of course, this particular agreement refers to what we call phase A or phase 1, which of the development, which is the rail car repair center, and that is described in here. And it's and this is just the initial phase. Is a 15, perhaps maybe to $20 million project that will employ at least 50 people in good-paying jobs in this city, and we then, when that's finished, would look forward to coming back here and the development of the balance of the property, which holds some incredible promise, which will involve some warehousing and ultimate employment that we believe will result in approximately 250 to 300 jobs that will be created, that are well-paying jobs with benefits. It's a great project. It takes advantage of the infrastructure that this city has to offer and makes tremendous use of it. We've again worked extremely hard with Phil and with David and with the entire city, with Mark McLaughlin, and certainly have to thank the mayor for never giving up on this one and pushing on it all the time and being behind it and supporting us and working with us in as cooperative a manner as you can possibly imagine. We're really excited about it. We think it's going to be one of the most significant economic developments in this city in a long, long time. We are certainly prepared, Justin and I are prepared to answer any technical questions about the agreement that you may have. I know David well enough to know that he's done a thorough job and probably appropriately advised you on all of the key elements in terms of the TIF financing and all of those items that are important. If we need to respond to that or go into that, we're more than happy to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
It does sound like an exciting project, and congratulations. Is there anything that follows this? Will this spur any other economic development other than right within the intermodal?
We are simultaneously working on warehousing. We're looking to build 2 warehousing units on the property. We're also looking for rail-related use on the property. We believe that the development of our project will continue for the next few years, but it should attract additional business to the city as well.
That's my only question.
Yeah, I think it can have a little domino effect. I'd like to welcome our mayor,
Hi, everybody.
McDermott Jr.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks to the redevelopment commissioners for inviting me here. I wanted to come out and express my support for a great project. One, as Attorney Waggle indicated, Attorney Weiser indicated, we've been working on for quite a long time. Sorry, Jim. We've only worked together for 11 years, but it's a phase 1 of this project. The through-part project consists of a rail car repair center, which is unique. It's a double tracked, right? Double tracked. It's going to be unique. This is the 3rd unit train repair center built in the U.S. specifically designed to repair rail cars moving in unit train sets. It's unique. It's a 30-acre development, $15 million project, going to create 50 full-time jobs, well-paying railroad jobs, which is badly needed in this area. And this is part of our city, part of the Hessville section of our city that's been underutilized for decades. It's a great project. What we agreed to in this incentive package is a $2.9 million incentive through TIF, and the developer has arranged for the purchase of its own bonds, which is a great deal for the citizens of Hammond. Phase 2 turns out to be successful. Phase 1 turns out to be successful. Phase 2 is even better with the opportunities for storage of refrigerated units right there off the rail cars. So for us to ever get to that point, we need to follow through on phase 1 and, as Attorney Weiser indicated, take advantage of our proximity to the rail lines there and make productive use of our land. So I just wanted to say thanks to Dave Westland, who worked with Attorney Weiser in developing this agreement. I want to thank Bill Talon in Africa for working so hard to make this project come to reality, and hope you guys all give it great consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. President, if there's no further questions, I move we approve item number 9 on our agenda, development agreement for the Thrupport Intermodal LLC.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval of development agreement for Thrupport Intermodal LLC. Is there any more discussion or questions here?
Congratulations. Sounds like a good project.
Thank you very much.
Let's have a roll call then on that.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Esricky,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick, Hopper.
Yes, motion passes. 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Mr. Chairman,
Congratulations.
just if I could real quickly, just as a point of personal privilege, as you know, Mr. Murphy not only is the president of this organization and put this together, he also has his law office in the Hessville area. He lives there. And I would like to add that having been born and raised in this community and having been born and raised in Woodmire and Hessville, as I was, having gone to school at Our Lady of Perpetual Help right down the street, it just makes us feel good as both Justin and I, because of the fondness that we have for the city for our various reasons, and to be able to bring a project like this to the community you grew up in is really special, and we thank you very much.
Mr. President, as a point of clarification, just for the process, now it'll go to the Economic Development Commission and ultimately the City Council. This will hopefully move fairly quickly. The developer was looking to begin construction sometime in the fall, early to late fall of 2015. So I think this isn't going to be a project where you approve something and then have to wait around to see it come to fruition. You will see some things happening in the next 6 months.
We have both applied for the construction permits. The agreement you passed today requires us to start construction by October 1st. So Mr. Westland's absolutely correct.
Okay. We're excited too.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're gonna keep moving a little bit forward, and, excuse me for any inconvenience here. We will come back to the other items. We're gonna move to number 13. We have some new and unfinished business to address first.
Commissioners, we want to make sure the mayor has another appointment, so that's why we're moving around to make sure that he's part of this. We're excited today. You may recall approximately maybe less than a month ago, we approved the extension of the Gateways redevelopment area and also the Gateways TIF. This is the same TIF that is attached to the new Buffalo Wild Wings, the new office complex, the new Hampton Inn, et cetera. We are now moving this further down Kennedy Avenue, and Mr. Bowdish was here before. He's here again, and we'll call him up so he can just talk a little bit on this. But today, as part of the expansion of this redevelopment area and part of this redevelopment plan, we are making the announcement that the city is looking to construct a brand-new fire station in the Hessville area. It would be the first new fire station built since 1979 in the city of Hammond. Obviously, this is new infrastructure, which is going to be the most modernized station, especially in Hammond currently. And so, although there's no action that we need to have taken today, as we work towards the completion of the expansion of the plan, we want to make it clear that this is one of the goals of this plan, to have this new fire station built. So first, can we have the mayor come forward and talk a little bit about this?
Thanks, Phil. One of the benefits of us extending the TIF, as Phil indicated, we have all this investment taking place at Oxbow Landing and all this, assessed value building up. And by stretching out the TIF district as we have down Kennedy Avenue and down Calumet, allows us to do creative things to help redevelop other parts of our city based on the value that we accrued over at Oxbow. So one of the things we've been talking about for a long time with the Hammond Fire Department is the fact that we haven't built a firehouse in our city since, as Phil indicated, 1979. Central Firehouse is our newest. Obviously we're committed to a professional fire department in our city. It's something that Hammond residents enjoy. It's something that I enjoy as a Hammond resident. It's something that we have to commit to, and this is going to help us do that. We've had a situation at O'Bannon School where our firehouse was sitting on their property, and the old O'Bannon School was given to the city years ago. You remember when that was?
It was about 7 years ago.
7 years ago. And we've always identified this piece of property as the future home of Station 8. Well, because of what's gone on with Oxbow and the assessed value that's built up, and we are now able to cover a debt payment for rebuilding Station 8, which I think is a happy occasion. I've already talked to the fire chief about it. I know he's here today. Isn't Jeff here? Yeah, fire chief is here, and I know we have some consultants that are going to come up and explain the scope of the project. But I know the fire union's happy. I know the fire chiefs are happy. I think it's a good thing for Hessville. It's a good day for Hessville between throughport and what we're doing with the new firehouse. I think Hessville's going to be real happy that, you know, a lot of new development is taking place. So I want to thank everybody for helping to extend that TIF district because that action made this happen. So I appreciate you moving the schedule around to accommodate me, and I have to be someplace at 5:30, so I want to say thank you very much, and I know that Phil has other people that are going to speak to this, so thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If we can have first, why don't we have Chief Smith come up and talk about why it's important to have a new station in the Hessville area.
Well, public safety is the #1 factor in the city. It's exciting to get the new station built. It'll house at least 10 personnel per day, an aerial truck, an engine, an ambulance, and with the size of the station that we're talking about, we're going to actually be able to keep a spare ambulance at that station because we do have breakdowns, and it happens in the middle of the night. It happens on a holiday when our mechanics aren't working, so it's easy to switch out. Right now, we have to go to Station 1 at 150th and Calumet and/or Central to get another ambulance to switch out, and could be in the middle of the night. The spare engines that we have, or a spare aerial, are also stationed at 150th and Calumet. We're going to be able to keep a spare engine in Hessville area in case of a breakdown or in case of call-outs. If we have God forbid, a disaster somewhere that we need additional manpower, that station will be utilized a lot more, more efficient. The guys are happy, like the mayor said. I'm excited to, you know, get something built like that. It's pretty amazing.
I agree, it's been 36 years, so.
Yeah, so,
Time.
yes.
Thank you, Chief Smith.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Could we have Dan Bowditch come forward as well? Dan is from Sender and Company. He's our financial consultant. He's working diligently on the expansion of the Gateway redevelopment area. Is diligently a good word, Dan? Is that accurate?
Diligently, vigilantly, and doing our due diligence. So a lot of words.
There you go. If you could just talk a little bit about the expansion of the plan and how this fits into the plan.
Phil had asked me to come before the commission and just give a quick update of where we were. We are now and in the process of finalizing the expansion of the Gateway's economic development area and the allocation area for the purpose of the Kennedy Avenue expansion as well as the Calumet Avenue expansion of those two corridors. What we specifically need to do now is identify those projects that will be included in the plan. We've already identified the fire station project in Hessville as a project to be included in the plan itself as an identified project, as well as including the project cost in the budget of the plan for each court for the Kennedy Avenue corridor, and as well as there's going to be a budget for the Calumet Avenue corridor expansion. But the use of tax increment in this case is a qualified use for a fire station, in that the fire station is a public use for which addresses and serves and benefits the neighborhood of Hessville, as well as the allocation area per se. So that use of a fire station and the project costs associated with that tax increment may be used as part of the tax increment financing process. So as assessed value increases, assessed value is captured, that captured assessed value is calculated to be tax increment, and that tax increment can be used to fund public projects or to fund other privately economic development projects in the allocation area. I just wanted to support as well as state that, again, the project for the fire station will be included in the Kennedy Avenue expansion plan, as well as in the budget of the plan. That plan will be coming before you on June 1st, being the first, I believe, the first week of June, which will be your first meeting in the month of June. I don't know exactly the date, but we'll have that plan for you, ready and prepared for presentation, as well as a declaratory resolution on both expansions of the Kennedy and the Calumet Avenue corridors. Is that sufficient?
That's good. Thank you, Dan. I mean, this is what an allocation area, this is how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to create the area, bring new businesses to the, in this case, redevelopment area, and then use the new increment that's generated from those projects to continue and bring more projects, and it's exactly what's happening in this area. So we appreciate all your help with
And
this.
this Gateway's, much like all the allocation areas in the city of Hammond, but Gateway's allocation area as well as the economic development plan is a model or a template because of the fact that since its designation, you have removed the River Park Apartments, demolished the buildings with tax increment financing and the tax increment generated. You have redeveloped and replatted and replanned the Oxbow area for development, so the project and the plan is all working. So this is a good base test, good base case.
Thanks, Dan. We appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Lastly, I wanted to call up an architect that we're working with for the new fire station. If Kevin Cooper can come up and talk a little bit about, he's have some experience building new fire stations. Is that true, Kevin?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Kevin Cooper. I'm a partner with Axis Architecture. We're I would call a medium-sized 20-person firm out of Indianapolis. We're celebrating our 20th year of business this year. But since 2004, I've personally designed and worked on over 10 fire stations throughout communities throughout the state of Indiana. Currently, we have one facility under construction for Indianapolis, which is a 22,000 square foot, 6-bay fire station for the city. We're currently working on 2 designs for Carmel, and just had a meeting today in Monticello. We're designing a new 6-bay, about a 21,000 square foot fire station for Monticello. So it's a niche in our business that we like to work on. We think fire stations are important to the community. They're diverse in their character, their architecture, and it's probably one of the favorite building types that I personally like to work on. Currently, we have to date, we have a site. We have an approximation of how big the facility is going to be. I think the fire station is going to approximately be between 12 and 12,500 square feet. It will be a modern facility. We've toured several facilities that we've designed with the fire chief. We've worked pretty diligently with him quite a bit on developing the final program. So we know what the space requirements are. We have an idea of the range of construction costs. So I think after today, we're excited. We're ready to get going with the real design of the new fire station. So thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
Thank you.
So again, there's no action necessary today. We just want to talk about with the expansion of the plan, how we're moving forward with this project, and we're excited to talk about it. And so I don't know if you have any questions. Just wanted to share some information with you.
Information well put.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you for your patience on those items. We're going to move back to our order here, number 6, our homebound conditional forgivable loan approval.
Commissioners, this is for 7 homebound conditional forgivable loan approvals, and they are all present, except for Nicholas is not here, so I'm going to get him at the next meeting, but if we can still approve him tonight. Everybody want to come up for homebound?
Jen, Nick Farrell's
He's a city employee as well.
yeah, so anytime we have a City of Hammond employee, we need to make it public that it is a City of Hammond employee. However, in this case, it's not a conflict of interest.
I'm just always curious to, and I guess kind of one by one, if you'd be so kind to, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I'd always like to know how close you are to your closing date and how you found out about the program to help you, move into our city or purchase a home in our city.
My name is Salvador Flores. I found out like Times newspaper, and my close date is May 18th, so next month.
Good. Good for you. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I'm Regina Garcia, and I found about this program from my realtor.
Yeah, and your realtor is who?
Excuse me?
Who is your realtor?
Lauro Sanchez.
Who's he with?
He has his own reliable real estate.
Reliable?
Yes, and I might close April 30th, hopefully.
You're from Chicago, correct?
Yes, I'm Chicago.
Hi, Monica Diaz. I'm from Hammond, and I heard about through my coach from Hezbollah Youth Hoops.
Okay.
My name is Sal Reyes. I heard about it from my lender. I'm supposed to close May 6th.
Who's your lender?
Lake Mortgage.
Lake?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Tanya Neely. I heard about the program through my realtor, Wendy Rice. She's out of Century 21. And my tentative closing date is May 15th.
Hello, my name is Sergio Anguiano. I've lived and grew up in Hammond since 5th grade. I've heard about the program through the City of Hammond website through my own independent research. So my closing date is for May 20th.
All right, good luck. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you for all taking the time to come to tonight's meeting, too.
Good luck. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 7 applicants.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 7 applicants. Is there any more questions or discussion on this? Okay, roll call, please.
Solo Presley?
Yes.
Esbriki?
Yes.
Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick? Poppers?
Yes, motion passes. 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, number 7, subordination request approval.
Commissioners, this is for 2 subordination requests, Matthew Albert and Claire Rump. Matthew, you want to come up? Claire could not make it because of work. I will try to get her here at the next meeting as well. I want to get it both approved as well, though, because I know they have to close on a certain time frame. And these are basically just lowering their interest rate. I believe Claire is actually dropping her months on her mortgage.
She's only 15 years, I saw. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Albert, I mean, you're just, is that the situation you were discussing? You went down to 4% from water?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been at your home?
About 1 year and 3 months.
Okay. And you're going with the same lender, or did you go to a different lender?
Same lender.
Same lender,
Yep.
so they just have a modification
Yeah.
program that was able to let you? Okay. Mr. President, if there's no further questions, I move we approve both subordination requests in the interest of time for, as item number 7, Mr. Albert and Clara.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the subordination request approval for Matthew Albert at 645 Marshall and Clara Rump at 6237 Reverend Burns Drive. Can we have a roll call then on that?
Solo Presley?
Yes.
Esbriki?
Yes.
Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick? Poppers?
Yes, motion passes. 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, number 8, authorization to advertise for bids on Phase 2 Harrison Park Improvement Project.
Commissioners, you may recall, we hired Hutton & Hutton to work as the design team for Harrison Park improvements. We completed Phase 1, I believe it's been 2 years now since Phase 1, and we were ready to go out for bid for Phase 2. So here's Justin Hutton to talk a little bit about what we're doing as part of Phase 2 for Harrison Park.
Good evening, Commissioners and Mr. President. Thank you for having me this evening. I believe there are 3 drawings that are in your packet, 11 by 17s possibly, and they indicate the areas of work that we're looking at. One area is adjacent to the new tennis court that was built a few years ago, and that will include removing the gravel lot that's currently there and adding new asphalt paved spaces there, along with starting the sidewalk. Removing the storage and old toilet room building that's there right now, that's just irreparable, and putting a new toilet room building that will help serve the park and the tennis courts that are there. There will be bottle fill stations at that location, bike racks, those kinds of things. To the area south, that's by Waltham, we are going to propose to add a new playground at the existing asphalt paved surface that used to be used for basketball courts. As you all know or probably know, the existing playground that's there right now floods a tremendous amount, and the water stays, ponds. The kids go over to that park every day to use it, so this is a great opportunity to provide them with a new playground surface that's there. It'll comprise of a pour-in-place, rubber surface that you would see, new playground equipment, etc. Just asking for the approval to go out for bids for this project.
Commissioners, this is paid for out of housing and urban development park improvement dollars, just so you're aware. So obviously, when you approved a budget the last few years, we've been allocating a certain amount to park improvements, which is what is affording us to move forward with this project. So we're very excited about it, and hoping that you'll approve the authorization to advertise for bids for phase 2.
This building on Lyman is a new building, of course, but isn't there a similar building there right now? Or is that staying, or is that being part of the demolition?
There is. We'll demolish that building that's there. The foundation actually on the inside is cracked, and it's a dangerous structure that's there. We spend more money trying to do anything with it than just knocking it down.
Is that a facility presently, a restaurant facility, or is that just storage? It is kind of beat up. I know.
It was a restroom at one time. It hasn't been used for, I'm not even sure since when.
It's been a while, as I understand as well. You may recall, as part of phase 1, when we installed the new tennis courts, and Hammond High uses those for their competitions, and others as well. I know Bishop Knoll has used the tennis courts as well. That's been one of the big issues that we've had. Those bathrooms have not been operational, and when you have teams coming in and people coming in to watch their kids and they have nowhere to use the washroom, it's a problem. So that's part of the reason that we put this as kind of an immediate need as part of phase 2.
I think it's a great idea. So if there's no further questions, Mr. President, I move we approve Resolution 1-2015.
Actually, we're on the authorization.
Yeah.
We're on
Number 8.
We're on number
I'm
8.
sorry, I even have my glasses on. Number 8, advertise for bids on phase 2, Harrison Park Improvement Project.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for authorization to advertise for bids on phase 2 Harrison Park Improvement Project. Is there any more questions or discussion for Mr. Hutton? Okay, roll call then, please.
Sullivan Presley?
Yes.
Eskirty?
Yes.
Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick? Hopbridge?
Yes, motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, Justin.
Okay, we will move now to number 10, approval of resolution 1-2015.
Commissioners, we previously approved an agreement with ATG Real Estate Development LLC for the construction of a new 3-story Class A office building. Since that time, as part of that project, this resolution is one of the next steps for approval to go out to bond for the pledge that we made towards this project as part of our incentive. It's already been approved at the Economic Development Commission. It's been approved by the council. So here we are as the last step, as Dave is pointing out, is to have the redevelopment commission sign off on it. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
No, I'm excited to see it done.
The developer's already started.
Yeah, because there was all kinds of cool stuff that was going to go into this building.
I think he believed in the city strong enough that we supported his project, that he was willing to move forward. But yeah, it's a great project. As we've mentioned before, it's our only Class A office building in the city of Hammond. We've been looking for something like this. I know Africa Tarver, who's Director of Economic Development, who happens to be here, and myself, we get inquiries about new office space at different times, but we really don't have, we have existing space, which of course we try and promote as much as we can, but sometimes a group coming in is looking for new space. So this will be the most modern, the most attractive. It should attract the highest tenants out there. So again, we've already approved it. This is just more to formalize the incentive that we agreed upon, and we're very excited about getting to this step in the project.
Well, if there's no further discussion, I'd like to make a motion for approval of Resolution 12015.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of Resolution 1-2015. We have a roll call then on that.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay, number 11, reports. You're back on deck, Mr. Talon.
Commissioners, if you don't mind, Africa Tarver's not here at all the meetings, but if I'd like to ask her to come forward as our Director of Economic Development. Africa has been integral for these projects that are on the agenda that are going through today. She's been part of Thrupport since the beginning. She's been involved with the fire station construction project. She's been involved with the Harrison Park, and obviously Awana Miller is Director of Community Development. She's been a huge part of that. She couldn't be here this evening, but I just wanted to hear from Africa, if she had any thoughts about some of the things that we passed today.
Yes, I'm actually very excited because being in economic development, we're there at the inception of a project, and then it takes such a long time for a lot of projects to come into fruition. It's really encouraging to see some things coming into fruition that we've planned for a long time. Like we've talked before, a lot of times we'll meet with someone and it may take a deal a long time to come to fruition, but I'm very excited. I think a lot of this has to do with the progressive leadership we have in our administration, the staff that we have. We all work together to really try to do the best things for the city. So I'm really excited. Today is a good day for Hessville and thus a good day for the city of Hammond.
You know, we probably, I don't know, there's not an exact percentage, but my guess is that when Africa and I are meeting with groups about different projects in the city, it's probably a very high percentage, say 96, 97% of the projects never come to fruition. It just so happens that, you know, at the end of 2014 and the beginning of 2015, we've had a lot of projects that are coming to fruition, and we're excited about it. You can tell that the people in Hammond are excited about it because we hear from them all the time. And I just wanted her to come up because she probably doesn't get recognized enough. She's been integral to a lot of these projects going forward. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Africa.
Thank you, Ms. Tarver.
Oh, we do have a job fair this Thursday. What time is that job fair, Africa?
11 to 3 at the Civic Center.
11 to 3 at the Civic Center. We do this, it's an annual job fair. They've been well attended, but it seems like recently we've had a lot of people, even more people than usual, coming to them in the last couple of years. So, and we have a lot of job openings in Hammond. There's a lot of businesses that have jobs available. So it's a perfect opportunity for anybody who's looking for new work or needs a job to come to the job fair and hopefully find a match for themselves. Also on May 1st, we are having our next in what we consider a Hammond Business Owner Networking event. It will be at the Merge Building in downtown Hammond at 4:00 p.m. That's a Friday. So we're hoping to have we sent out invitations to almost every Hammond business owner. I'm sure we missed some, but we tried to hit almost everybody. And it would be great to have redevelopment commissioners come as well. And of course, we're going to invite the councilmen and women, and we're hoping to have a great turnout at that as well. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Okay.
Thank you, Phil. Okay, number 12 are bills.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims for April 1st, 2015 through April 21st, 2015. Register of claims, R51790 through R51853.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the register of claims for April 1st, 2015 through April 21st, 2015. Any questions or discussion on the bills? Okay, roll call then, please, on the bills.
Sullivan Presley?
Yes.
Ezra?
Yes.
Rivera?
Yes.
Myrick? Hoppers?
Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, we did our new and unfinished business. We'll move to number 14, public comment. Anybody in the audience would like to come forward and speak? You have 3 minutes. Okay, public comment closed. Number 15.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by saying ayes?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.